Hi and welcome under the moon tree and happy Lionsgate 2026. Happy Lionsgate and also happy International Cat Day for all of you cat lovers, all of us cat lovers. We can hope that our cat master Jerry will join us, but in the meantime, this representation, clearing our minds and clearing our space for messages to come through and messages to come through. And yeah, Lionsgate, astrologically, the day when Earth, Sirius, Orion and the Sun in Leo line up or align, and it starts in July 26th and goes on until the 12th of August, but the 8-8 date is considered the height of the Lionsgate portal, and that is today. And the Lionsgate is a powerful time of both clearing out the old, taking out the trash, so to speak, to make room and to manifest new in our lives, manifest abundance, whatever our abundance, spiritual or material or emotional. Strangely, I saw my own I was shining. I felt it's kind of a message, like a first card, a powerfully shining eye. And indeed, Lionsgate is as well a powerful time of synchronicities. And like all these portal dates, heightened awareness and very high frequency time when it's easy to move to higher frequencies and connect with our higher selves, receive messages, and our clairs are heightened. Perhaps a message for someone of especially heightened vision. I'm actually behind my camera on a little pedestal. This morning I woke up, I said aloud, happy Lionsgate to my guides and picked a gateway of light oracle, and it was a Sirius star blessing. Guides saying hi. We know what day it is. Sirius star blessing. Yes, proceed, be seen, push through. And now it is also a message for you. On this day of Sirius, and yeah, a message that also came to me earlier, or a realization that it's the International Cat Day. And International Cat Day, and Sirius the dog star, and the English saying he's either a dog or a little wolf, now howling at the dog star, and the English saying the dog days of summer, and then in Finnish, my language, Cat's Day or Cat's Days means the best days or the good times or the good life. And so today we are having both the dog days of summer and the cat's days aligning as well. And that was a message somehow for me this morning, the cat's days and dog's days aligning with the sun and the Sirius, Orion, and our earth. And I saw it as cats and dogs living together, but in harmony. And now I realize another thing. I just put on this ring, because I found it when I was searching for another ring that I had misplaced. The harmony, yin-yang ring. Actually bought it when I was 16, so it's very old. Bought it in Stockholm when I was on an interrail. First place I went was capital of Sweden, and cats and dogs living together on this harmonious 8/8 day, and it can be done, as most of you who are both cat and dog owners know. Oh, Jerry, are you coming with us? Tuksä syli? Jerry. Okay. I tried to show you when he was rubbing himself against my shoes, but then he decided to come here after all to wish us all a super happy Lionsgate and Cat's Days for all. Yes. What were we saying? Dogs and cats living together in harmony, and yin and yang. And calico blessings for all as well, because the calico is supposed to be and truly is a bringer of good luck. Yeah. And shall we take an oracle stone? Because you like that, don't you? Do you like that? Do you like that? Yeah. A little oracle stone. Oh la la. Dear Spirit, our guides, our powerful, powerful, powerful guides. We get two we get the chakras and the drum and the healing hand. They were actually free. How do you okay, and how does it taste? Does it taste good? Okay, this is becoming a bit hard for me to see anything, but yeah, I hope you can see them as well. Thank you, Master Jerry. Tuutko sä tänne istumaan? I have to rearrange the camera. That was wild. But we get the healing hands, the chakra system, and the shamanic drum and or shamanic or dimensional travel or vision quest, journeys, astral travel, visualization, maybe calling for you during this Lion's Gate or whenever you find it, and also perhaps through such visualizations or meditation using visualization, clearing or balancing, strengthening your chakras, perhaps yourself, or using guided meditations, or just doing it your way. Maybe in nature, and the healing hand. So again, I see this as healing hand, transmitting healing energy. And I'm hearing of pure love, of pure source. Getting a hot flush on my head as well. Trust your healing abilities. Jerry, tuutko sä vielä? Sorry if the beginning was a bit chaotic with the camera. When we had our International Cats Day ambassador here. But let us pick a release, so it's called. Let us pick another gateway oracle for our dog days of summer and cats days aligned. Dear Spirit, our guides, the central sun. So first card was Sirius, and now we have the sun. Yeah. abundance, downloads, regeneration, and success. Of course, whatever you're manifesting, whatever your abundance, but indeed a successful time for manifesting, and especially for those who are manifesting abundance. Dear Spirit, just one more. One more. Feeling strange pulls all over the deck now, but we're getting 2 cards. Okay. The Merkaba and Gaia Gateway activation. The Earth, Gaia, the Sun, Earth, and Sirius aligned. I have to check if there's not Orion but Thoth light codes at the bottom of the deck. Sun and Earth and Sirius and Merkaba activation. Transcendence, ascension, you are rising up. Gaia Gateway activation, learning experiences, wisdom transmission, Earth intelligence, and the Sun. I think I put Sirius back in the deck. I can see it peeking here. Yeah. Powerful gateway. And Merkaba. Really getting like shivers up my spine now, rising up. And what I was saying about the dimensional travel. Merkaba, dimensional travel and shamanic journeys. Merkaba is all about that as well. Getting the words traveling without moving, like in the books Dune, actually, or the movies. Traveling without moving, and suddenly in connection to that, I got Albert Einstein, because he said that he used a meditation technique. It was of his own making, where he would feel or visualize himself like not moving but traveling at light speed, and he used this a lot. And Merkaba meditations are quite similar. Here you can see the Merkaba, and it is your Merkaba, your light body. You are in the center of these pyramids, interlocked, and you start. But if you are interested in and don't know about those, you should search for Merkaba meditations. But the basic idea is that you start to visualize or feel, you start spinning your Merkaba faster and faster. But you may already be doing this, for instance, in your dream states, even without knowing. You may be traveling without moving. And since this our beginning of our Lionsgate reading was indeed very strongly guided and connected to the Lionsgate event, I think we shall take some Isis oracle, because Egypt is very connected to Sirius and the sun. But I think also that we may just grab a few tarot first. Dear Spirit, our guides who love us unconditionally on this International Cat's Day. Then the Page of Fire. With her violet tiger. This was in a short, it was in a long reading actually. If you're interested, I have a short that became a long with this same card. It's called the Amethyst Tiger. Cab is in the heading of that. And yes, a messenger calling you, and a very good messenger bringing news of your creative energies, something in motion. But since it is indeed the International Cat's Day, and I'm very drawn to this tiger cup again, and the violet in both of them, and the violet butterfly of transformation flying toward the sun. A transformation of higher frequency awareness. Getting that. Page of 5. Whoa! Someone jumped. And the 8 of water jumped. And just what we were speaking about, making room. Clearing the unnecessary clutter and making room for your manifestation to arrive, and for some even possibly walking away from the old, and here taking a ride to the new. Yeah, that just came through. Taking a ride here above. Is already on its way. See, the boat is coming towards him to collect him. on new journeys. And the Page of Wands, yeah, a call or a message, perhaps called on new journeys. And the Moon. It's eclipse season as well, maybe important. Coming up next week, and yeah, the Moon in both of them. Again, heightened awareness with the heightened frequencies. This chakra stone has seen a lot of suffering, so you can barely see the body of the human there anymore, like it's melting to the light. Almost was shuffling a book with a deck. But yeah, let us go to our Egyptian messages. Egypt may be calling for some these days as well. Dear Spirit, our guides, it was reversed, but we're not doing any reversals with these. There was ancient power mysteries at the bottom. Here the rattle of ice is playing on sound and vibration. Sound vibrations may be important for someone. And a way of communicating with your guides, as well as a way of connecting to higher frequencies and working with your energies through sound. Even healing with sound, with your own voice, or with instruments like this singing bowl or drumming. Yeah, your own voice, singing, speaking, or chanting mantras, for instance. And yes, sound healing can really be very powerful physically in our organic organic bodies, as well as our subtle bodies, our aura, our chakras. Been to some sound healing sessions with singing bowls, just as well as to sessions with many people drumming, and I have used singing bowls and drums just by myself as well, but can really, in a powerful singing bowl session, for instance, where the healer used, it was a group session, or a couple of group sessions I have been to, where he used very multiple large, some of them were crystal bowls and some of them were metal bowls, and one could even feel effects of the physical, very tangible physical effects even during and after those sessions. You even get like as if you had been to a massage or something, that sort of effects. And it's good to drink a lot of water afterwards too. And one more story I wanted to add about the sound healing. I was reminded of the very tangible physical effects when I was in a sound healing session where there were a lot of people, like the room was packed, everyone was lying on the floor quite next to each other, and at that time I have a fractured knee with a loose part inside. And funny enough, the room was packed, and next to me was a woman, and before the session we started talking, and she had also an injured knee, which was in a worse state than mine. And it was funny, we were like so packed that we said that our knees are hugging each other. But and during that session I could really feel like, because my knee wasn't doing very good at the time, and not at all, I could really feel like how physically, like there was fluid moving inside it with a very, very strong sound vibrations in the room, like healing quite tangibly taking place there. And then another thing of sound healing, and this story, and cats. Here you can see tiny Egyptian cats. I inherited from my very, very, very old grandmother, who passed at 97 years old. But cats and the purring. It's quite interesting that everyone knows that cats use their purring. They purr when they're happy, but they also purr to make themselves happy, or to make others happy when they are sad, to comfort others or themselves. And also cats use purring to heal themselves if they are sick or injured. And I've read scientific empiric research on this purring power, and that even in some hospitals they had research about patients with fractured bones, and as there are healing cats in some places in hospitals. Yeah, and they studied that the presence of purring cats would slightly accelerate, even in humans, the healing of bones. And most felines, even the larger felines, most of them do purr. Lions purr too. I don't know if it's officially admitted now that lions purr, but George Adamson, who studied lions a lot in the 70s, lived with lions, him and his wife Joy. He wrote in his book that at that time, at least, lions were not supposed to purr, but he did witness them purring. I don't know if he got it on camera though. Yeah, that was became a lot about the sound healing then. So it is important, yes. But shall we continue with more cards? Yes, and the importance of the dog days of summer and Sirius in Egypt. It was the time in the July and the rising of the Sirius star. Also the time when the Nile is flooded and the land is made fertile and abundant, and a very important religious and magical time for the Egyptians who depended on the Nile. I don't know why, but I suddenly felt like crying. And yeah, maybe also a message some may have, past lives, or a strong connection to Egypt and those cycles of the Nile and those magics and mysteries and religions. Dear Spirit, our guides, do we get any more Egypt messages? This one wants to come out. Talismans of potency, charging sacred objects of power. Wow. Here she has, is it an ankh? Oh, I think this is the knot of Isis, her talisman, and then this, of course, her cobra headdress is also a talisman. And this is a card of people who are very in tune with using sacred objects in their spiritual work. So there was the sound, and here is the physical objects charged with intention, like charging crystals with intention, even possibly either thinking or visualizing, meditating, or even speaking out loud your intention. and like recording it to the crystal. This one, for instance, is a charged crystal, and when you wish to invoke what the object of power has been charged with, you can easily like invoke everything that was recorded in it by just yeah. I just did that. I think you understand what I mean, especially if this resonates with you, if you are such a person that has this natural, for whom it is a natural way to work with such charged objects. And this includes things like using your clairs with true physical objects like oracle cards or tarot. And since you are here, it is obvious that in some way you have this gift or calling to understand that when it comes to using clairs, like reading cards or scrying through objects, which includes both the using them in your spiritual work, as well as, for instance, as a listener of readings or scryings. Yes, we have a crystal ball too. Yeah, as a viewer, understanding what it's about, even if you can't put it to words, you have a sort of an understanding of how it works, of being guided to listen to things that resonate with you, for instance, and finding that which resonates. Of course, always take what resonates for you, leave the rest for others. But at times we may find quite incredible synchronicities in such ways. Yeah, I think many here may be priests and priestesses using sacred objects of power in their spiritual work. Perhaps one more Isis oracle, since it is a great holiday of Sirius. Dear Spirit, our guides. Abundance of Sothis at the bottom. Sothis. I think we shall read, because this is indeed like so much of what we spoke of is coming together in this card. just take one more. Key of life. Spinning the key of life, the Ankh, and the abundance of Sothis. Happy Lionsgate. And here I arranged as Gaia and the Sun and Sirius and the abundance of Sothis card, because this was just so very synchronistic, because yes, what I was speaking about, the flooding of the Nile and its importance in Egypt. And Sothis is the goddess of Sirius, and she is the one who brings the flooding of the Nile. And I also felt this again, a very strong call from our mother Gaia at this important gateway for us to pray and to manifest for her as well, and to manifest for her and for the actions of us, her children, a life, a future of abundance, where she is not drenched nor over flooded and not scorched by the sun, as what we are seeing right this summer, or it is summer here in the northern hemisphere. But these times, yes, similar call coming through as was in our last long reading, and a powerful time, a powerful gateway for us to pray and to manifest. Healing actions in our individual lives and collectively. Healing action for our Mother Earth. Yes, healing action, and I'm also hearing sacred activism for our Mother Earth, in that being mindful every day of our actions, our way of life, so that it becomes like breathing, more and more aligning our daily action with the good of our home, our mother, and all of her children, of the natural world. That kind of sacred individual activism, lighting the whole web of light that we are as her children. But I shall now read for you Abundance of Sothis. Abundance of Sothis. Stellar blessing of the celestial goddess of abundance. Abundance in many forms is flowing to you now, beloved. Intend right now to receive it. Just decide to do so in your heart this very moment. The oracle of the abundance of Sothis comes as guidance to expect increased flow and to continue your good works of building channels through which abundance can be delivered to you. Freely share your talents, love, wisdom, and self, and enjoy the abundance responsibly flowing to you in many forms over and over again. Abundance comes to you now, dear initiate. If you have been through a time of restricted circumstance materially, financially, socially, in terms of health or relationships, opportunities, fun or friendship, then this oracle indicates that the tide is turning and an upsurge of wealth, health, abundance, and more are coming to you now. After an experience of restriction, perhaps for a prolonged period, you will very much enjoy this new and improved flow of energy, support, compensation, and a reward. With your heart open, your many channels ready to receive the influx of abundance, and your innate belief that you are worthy to receive, you attract great support from the universe now. Channels for receiving grace in all forms are created when you follow your heart and do your part to be ready and prepared to receive. The goddess of celestial abundance, Sothis, shining stellar mother Sothis, will bless you with all you can possibly receive, so allow yourself to act in faith, be brave, and take steps to ready yourself right now. Make sure you harvest your crops to create even more channels through which abundance can flow to you, clearing out the old, completing and preparing the ripe crops for nourishment. This may mean revising, finishing and bringing to fruition old projects, or deciding to let them go completely if they do not feel right to pursue. Just a moment. Any further, if they don't feel right to pursue any further. It might mean seeking fresh input or collaboration on certain projects, or feeling any sadness, guilt, grief or anger over unfinished projects and letting them go completely. There may be still other projects that you feel in your heart are right for you, but not just now, and so they are released to percolate further in the cosmic womb. With this greater creative clarity and organization, your channels for abundance will be clearer and more receptive, and Sothis will have all the more room in which to bless and fill you. This oracle wishes to bring you great blessing. Thank you. It was quite a long read, so I jumped some parts, but that was the very essence. Yes, thank you, Spirit, for this was indeed incredibly synchronistic and a strong sign and message for all of us that we are guided and supported and we are seen. And I wish you all beautiful manifestations and lots of love and happiness on and during your Lion's Gate, and lots of love for any feline friends that you may have on their special day. Thank you very much, and hope to see you soon next time. If you like the reading, give it a thumbs up. Namaste. Love you, love you.